Hello and welcome. This is part two in the five-part series, Jumpstart Your Trading. Hopefully, I can give you some good quality clues to reduce your learning curve and get you started faster on the road to profitability in Forex. I was thinking of this while we're in between takes here. Uh, Step two is writing a good plan. We're going to talk a little bit about this, but I was thinking about this in between takes is that it's almost impossible, really, in 15 minutes. I can't put a lifetime of experience into these short videos as much as I'd like to. Uh, I really want to encourage you to consider taking more time when you have it and visit my members area. Take a trial subscription briefly, just for a few bucks to see if there's some good help there. A lot of free stuff on the website too. Consider looking at the free stuff again. Uh, if nothing else, my goal is to help you get on the right path and stay there. Sometimes you need more help than at other times, depending on you as a trader. For me, I wish to God I had somebody to help me when I was first getting started, but that didn't happen. So I learned it the hard way. That's really the benefit I want to give you. I think I can help you stay a little more focused on what you really need to learn. And one thing that really is a critical part of that, and in 15 minutes we can't cover except more than just a little bit of it, but you need to have the trading plan. I'm going to go ahead and fire up the PowerPoint right now, and we're going to take a few minutes on that because I really think this is critical for you. So let me get the PowerPoint up. You should see the PowerPoint now real quick. Writing a plan. And, I can't emphasize this enough. I mean, when I train people on in my psychology of trading course, one of the things that we talk about is writing everything down and how critical that is to journal. And this is just going to be an intro, really, because we can't, in 10 or 15 minutes, we can't really cover what we could cover. But I want to really encourage you to sit down with a blank piece of paper, a notebook maybe, and a pen, and give some thought to writing out a plan as your second step to getting ready to go ahead and get into these markets. As always, I never know who's listening to these broadcasts or who's maybe seeing this for the very first time. Want to remind everybody that trading is a risk investment. There's no guarantee of profitability. You could lose some or all the money you invest. Make sure that you're emotionally and financially suitable for trading when you decide to get into this. I wish it was that everybody made money all the time, but as we talked about in zero-sum transactions, that doesn't happen. You're going to make money at the expense of somebody else losing. So you don't want to be that loser. If you are that loser, that's the risk you got to be willing to accept. So I encourage you to consider carefully if you're ready for that. Hopefully you are, and that's why you're listening to this. So we talk about writing a plan. What is my plan, right? What is it that we're really going to do here? A trading plan is not your trading system. A trading system is, we talked about in step one, building your foundation. You're going to build one on your own. You're going to do this on your own, figure this out hardcore on your own, or you're going to buy somebody else's expertise and monitor that systemized approach. Either way is fine. The plan now, this addresses the concerns that are going on with that. In other words, it's addressing the parts of your trading that is within your control. So you can't control the markets. You can't control price action. You can't control what's going to happen from day to day, moment to moment. Only you can control your participation. The only thing you've got in your control is when you buy or sell. So you have to have a plan for that. So what you want to do now is write it down. What you want to do is write down your trading plan and make a rule set that will work for you. Now, I talk about rules consistently all throughout the educational process for traders. I don't care if you've been trading for, your whole life, you still have rules. Trading rules change all the time. Like, for example, if we're to say, here's one of your rules. Let's say you bought a piece of software, and you got it running on your computer in real time, and it gives you the trades at the end of every day. Let's say it does one where it's a systemized approach that works on volatility, and it calculates all of the trades at the end of the day, and it gives you the list of orders for the markets you're going to trade, and you need to place those in the morning. And it works through the day and then liquidates all your positions for you, or tells you to liquidate all your positions at the end of the day. Great, great, little minor little system. Wonderful. Well, you need to update that every day, because if you don't update it every day, there's going to be trades in there that you don't take that would work for you, trades in there that you need to liquidate that you put on yesterday. You have to take time every day. So maybe one of the rules you might want to put in your trading plan that you write down is I will spend 30 minutes every day after 7 o'clock p.m. to review my positions and system. Very simple. Now you got to follow through on that. Other things to include in your trading plan might be things like this. And I talk about this in my book, Trading Rules That Work. I talk about when you're building a plan, it's the things within your control that you know you need help with, right? Maybe it would be I want to find, like well, my trading plan is by August of this year, I am going to find a local group of traders and attend a traders group every week to stay focused on what other people in the market are doing or to learn more from others. It might be a part of my trading plan is to read one good book on the markets every month and take the good news out of that book and apply it to my trading approach. See, your trading plan has to do with things that involve consistent, disciplined, proactive participation. Now, that can be anything, right? Maybe your plan is for the next 30 days, I'm going to try 4 separate trading platform demonstrators. Just try 4 demo platforms, to see which ones might be out there that I haven't seen before, right? Not a bad idea. See, but the issue is why you want to write all this down is because you need to write down what's happening so you can understand what your winning behavior and your losing behavior is. And I feel a little even frustrated, really, to even have this conversation on video with you on the issue of making a plan because of how important I think it is. It's very difficult in just a few minutes to cover everything we could cover. So I thought, you know what, I'm asking you to help meet me halfway on this and spend some time developing a trading plan. Once you know the type and nature of trading that you wish to do, which is a few hours a week, volatility type of system, trend following system, something that maybe you're going to help look for, dig through the markets, dig through the web and find for yourself. Great. Once you've decided that's the guy you're going to be, now you need to have a plan. Maybe you're going to paper trade for 30 days, right? Etc. You want to write all this down and review it because you need to know what your winning behavior and your losing behavior is consistently while you're doing it day to day. See, it's a big misconception to think that you're going to shoot from the hip. You need to have records. You need to keep records. Those records will help you determine what your winning behavior is and your losing behavior because you don't want to be the loser. You know what I'm saying? Here's what you want to include. How much time you invested, whether or not you were on track for that. Number of winners and losers, amount won or lost, what behavior you're doing. See, without records, you can't really know what is working for you. So your trading plan needs to include some method of documenting what you're doing every single day, day in and day out, whether you're creating your own approach or attempting to duplicate it by purchasing somebody else's approach. It doesn't matter. It needs to be documented and such. In that process, there needs to be a proactive participation that you work on that's a rule set for you. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do X, I'm going to do Y on a regular basis. We can get as detailed as you want on that. When I do my daily broadcasts and my training sessions, my one-on-one sessions with, traders that are interested in doing that, we talk about pretty specific things. So what I want to do is basically get the door open with you, the intention of helping you understand how important writing a trading plan is. Now, there are details and sample plans in the members area and in the free area. You might want to have a look at those things. My personal opinion is this is a critical part of your trading approach. Make sure that you take time to write a plan. So once you have your plan up and running and it's in front of you and you've got it concisely written out, it's going to give you a starting point. It's like I tell people all the time. I like to sail. I keep a sailboat in South Florida. And I love to go sailing, and I don't get a chance to do it as much as I'd like to. But one of the things that is interesting, unique about sailing is that you can't control the wind. You can't control the wind at all, but you can set your sails, and it don't matter what the wind is really, because you can set your sails and steer your course and get from point A to point B. The challenge is working with things as they develop, as the wind changes and the weather changes and the seas change. That has nothing to do with the course that I want to steer. That's just the obstacles that come along in the process. Well, a smooth sea never made a skilled mariner. So if you want to get from point A to point B, which maybe in the markets means getting from 10 grand to a million, getting from here to there, there's going to be times when it requires you to do certain things differently. You're going to have headwinds. Market's not going to make any sense to you. Your system won't work. All kinds of things where you need to have course set. You need to have a direction you're going to go in, and you need to stick to that. Because if you don't stick to it, then you'll get blown around. If you don't know how to set sails, you can't get from point A to point B. If you don't know how to steer a course, you lose. You get blown off course, you don't know how to find your way back, you're done. What kind of guy would sail a boat like that? You know what I mean? So I want to encourage you to remember that a plan is sort of like a mariner's chart. It's sort of like a course you're going to set. Give some thought to what that could mean for you. Writing it out so that it's concise, complete, and right in front of you, and maybe you can read it every day. That plan is very important for your long-term success, because what it will do is it will keep you on track, staying focused on what works and staying away from what doesn't work. It's so much easier to write rules that will discipline your behavior if you know from past experience, documented. Every time I did A, B, and C, I ended up with this result that I don't want. It's right there in black and white. I've done it a whole bunch of times. I'm done doing that now. Here's my new rule set, not to do A, B, or C. And it's right there in front of you. Writing everything down and having a plan gives you that baseline to compare everything to. So once you've discovered what it is that your foundation is, the next step is your plan, which is like your blueprint for success. Then you go to work on the rest of it. So coming up next, step 3, and we'll talk about what I think is another critical part of this, which is paper trading. And I think you'll be surprised to learn what I think about paper trading. So see you in a minute.